What you got?
Hello there.
It's Cinemaniacs Monday night.
It is Monday.
It's St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patty's Day to you.
The luck of the Irish.
Quick announcement. I have to leave at 5:30. It's board meeting night again.
Your prioritization is just...
And next week I'm on an airplane during the show. So...
Well, it's true. At least you're here.
I'm here at least. Next week I won't be.
Beggars can't be choosers.
And then we have another announcement we want to make.
If you're begging at home for some entertainment and want to talk to somebody, you can do that right here tonight with us. You can, we want to talk. Tell us what your problems are. We'll solve your relationship issues right here.
Yes, I'm listening.
No, you can join us, EriDanLive.com, hop online, tell us how bored you were by Scott's movie, and then move on, because there's really nothing else to say. No, we're going to join. We're going to have people joining. We're going to talk movies. We're going to talk other stuff. Maybe later tonight, a big announcement. Who knows? Stay tuned for all that. Let's bring in Mr. Scott.
How dare...
Whoops.
Oh, nice, Dan.
There's new buttons here. I didn't know what it was. There we go.
There are new buttons over there.
I was like, where's someone to cut me off?
Dan was distracted by the new buttons.
Well, I'm sorry my movie was so boring, Eric. I was really thinking of you, and I tried very hard. I was like, what would make Eric happier than to watch a 2.5-hour movie about a bunch of guys on a ship? But they do leave occasionally for an island.
So tonight's movie is Master and Commander... What's the whole title of this thing? I don't even know.
Far Side of the World.
Not a movie worth
Electric Boogaloo. I don't know.
That's right.
It's Far Side of the World, and there is no Far Side in this. Apologies to Gary Sinise.
So
and they also changed the name. It's now Primary and Commander.
There you go.
So not allowed to say Master anymore.
Since there was a Master and Commodore, it was about the VIC-20 game that they ported over.
The Commodore.
I did not find it boring. So there you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a dissenting opinion.
No, I think you are the dissenting opinion.
Oh, that's possible.
I'm with Eric.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm not saying this is a bad movie.
No, not at all.
No, it's well shot. It's well acted. It's all the things.
But I'm sorry if you say April 1805 Napoleonic Wars, I fall asleep.
See, I would so much rather watch this than Pirates of the Caribbean, because this has some weight behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I felt like it thought that it had weight behind it. It felt like it was trying to be a little pretentious. And also, I felt like while there was a ton of action, I felt like it was kind of Michael Bay action, where it was all so close in and so wild and so long that you could barely get your bearings as to what was happening.
I love how I'm the biggest person on the screen. I haven't gotten a word in the last 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
All right, now.
You just did.
Now that you know that Dave is pro, Adam's pro, Dan and I are...
It's all right. I feel like this is like a roast. Like, I thought the movie sucked, and we're just going to have Scott's reactions for everybody to see.
That's right. We just want to see what Scott thinks.
We can do this, too. Look at that.
Whoa.
Hey.
Whoa.
Okay, Scott. So you chose this movie.
I did choose this movie.
And
On purpose.
we would like to know... we would like... Well, what about this movie appeals to you? What about this movie stands out as a cinematic masterpiece that you thought it was worth wasting hours of everybody's time? No, I'm kidding.
Man.
Please share, and I will mute my mic.
EriDan roasts. So this is a family movie that I grew up watching. I didn't get Lord of the Rings for Christmas. I got this, and everybody around the world groans. But I really did love this movie growing up. I think if you're looking for something that's going to fit neatly into that mini-series HBO kind of feeling drop period piece, but it's also not going to be like 5 to 6 hours of TV and there's some gunfights in it, then go for it. I think it's really beautifully shot. It's a very faithful adaptation of about 4 or 5 different books, which does not work in its favor. But, if you had to squeeze all the Godfather movies into one movie, you'd probably get something like this. I think, for sure, the strongest scenes in this movie, unfortunately, are the beginning and the ending. And it's because the middle spends so much time focusing on these characters that you either like or you don't like. It really is a slice of life kind of movie where you're getting used to like all the different levels of the crew interacting with each other. And it's kind of like watching Game of Thrones where you had the first season where everyone's together, and then the rest of the season they're just all over the place. And if you don't care about anybody, then this movie doesn't work for you. If you don't like history, if you don't like looking at things that are very well recreated, this movie isn't for you. But
Hamilton. I'm kidding.
Yeah. No, the very realistic Hamilton where everyone's black except, but yeah, as far as, movies about this period go, I think it's incredibly faithful. It's amazing that they had it all shot on a boat for the most part. And if you look at some of the rigging and the directing that went into this, it's really incredible work. It's just a shame that this came out the same year as Return of the King. So guess where all the Oscars went to.
Yeah, it won 2 Oscars for fairly minor categories. Every other Oscar that it was up for was won by Return of the King.
Nominated for Best Shoes.
Best buckles. Best suicide scene.
Yes.
I will say one of my issues is that I legitimately I could talk about 3 characters. That's about it. Everybody else sort of just blended together into an amalgam of other guys, right? Like it's like there's Russell Crowe, there's Paul Bettany, there's the little kid in the arm, and everybody else is just random dude who may or may not live to see the rest.
The guy with the spoon in his head?
Come on. You don't like Old Spoonie?
I thought it was a spork.
He probably
Schniglet. Wasn't it a Rich Hall Schniglet?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just your random old man.
Yeah, I agree about all the cinematography.
Yes.
It's just the subject matter was not that exciting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Crowe's never that exciting to me for some reason.
A blonde Russell Crowe is never exciting to me.
I don't care what color his hair is.
Oh, no, I judge all his movies based on his hair.
Oh, all right. What if he shaved his head and did like Kojak the movie? I think he'd be good in that.
He might be okay then.
I mean, I judge all his movies based on his weight, so I know where you guys are coming from.
Oh. He actually learned to play violin for the film. How about that?
Wow.
Kind of like how Ryan Gosling learned how to play piano for La La Land. Like, okay.
And Eric, you will be happy to know this was intended to be the first film in a franchise that because it didn't do that well in the box office, this was the only one.
Oh. Well, that explains the subheading.
Yes.
The side of the world.
Right. It's probably going to be Master and Commander, the far side of the world. That would be Master and Commander, the Garfield of the world. That would be Master and Commander, the Family Circus of the world. I was going to go with all that theme of comics. Peanuts of the world.
To be fair, if Snoopy was in this movie, it would be a little bit more entertaining for some people.
It wouldn't have hurt.
I do admit that it is definitely one of those films that insists upon itself.
Oh, here we go. Insists upon itself. You're taking the Peter Griffin, the Peter Griffin description of The Godfather. I find it insists upon itself.
Some movies like to take their time. They're like, look at this shot. Look at these really great actors doing this really small part that only has about 10 lines in the whole movie.
Now, Adam is big into history. I don't know that we knew that.
Wow.
We've learned something tonight.
I did not know that. But it made him enjoy this movie even more.
And I also love sailing movies. I mean, whether it's The Black Swan or Captain Blood or, any of those, the old Errol Flynn type. And this isn't that, but it certainly overlaps with that. And I just enjoy
I could have used some swashbuckling. If there would have been a little more swashbuckling, I might have been.
So you're saying you should have had George Hamilton doing some swishbuckling?
That would have been great. I would have been okay with that. I honestly would have watched 2 hours of Paul Bettany on the beach looking for animals. I found that more important.
See, for people who have never seen the show, Eric is a DJ, and he just has to listen to every song that he would never, ever play at his job.
Well, believe me, everyone watching knows Eric's a DJ.
Do you have the soundtrack to this, Eric?
What?
Do you have the soundtrack to this?
Do you have Bach?
No, there was one. I don't think it's a bad movie. It's just this is a good example of a movie that is really well made and really meant for somebody besides me. I am not the market for this movie.
Like William Bass.
Yes. Well, my mom's comment was she did like the music.
Just the shanties.
Weren't those costumes lovely?
It did have great costuming. I will say the costuming was quite nice.
We'll just put a loop through your nose and move on, Eric.
And my mom actually, she texted me after she watched it that Crow actually played the violin. Took him 3 months of lessons to prepare, so she already knew the IMDb trivia and didn't even have to look it up.
Nice.
I feel like this isn't really important to me, but if you're one of those people also who is like looking for stuff that is true to period drama, that doesn't try to shift its way into like how we try to create
ship its way
history.
What you just did there?
Well,
So,
the book is from.
They spent $1.5 million to buy the ship for this movie.
Well, here's an interesting fact. First of all, it was 2 novels. One called Master Commander, the other one called The Far Side of the World, and so they merged them. But the book was set in 1812. The film is set 7 years earlier, which afforded the writers a chance to make the enemy of the piece not the United States, but France. England at the time having declared war against Napoleon Bonaparte. So they did make a little adjustment to...
We were eating freedom fries while we were watching this.
Yes.
I actually had to look it up. I was like, wait, that doesn't make sense. But that's just... And then
it's sort of the successor to... C.S. Forrester did the whole series of Hornblower books. And actually, when he passed on, it was O'Brien's literary agent that suggested, hey, why don't you start writing some nautical novels? And he ended up turning out, 14 books in this series or something like that.
Oh, my.
Yeah. And I think I held it up before. I love the Horatio Hornblower stuff, which is very much in the same vein. This series of movies that aired on the BBC, then I guess A&E aired it in the US. If you're into this stuff, it's great. I think you made a good point, though, Scott. The feel of this is very much like a quality limited run TV series, something like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy or those type of series. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So another interesting fact is, even though Russell Crowe learned how to play violin, that wasn't actually him playing. He just learned so he got the structure down and his fingers were in the right places.
After 3 months.
But yeah, they actually had a professional play.
So that's the real question then, Dan. Did Russell Crowe play violin better than Michael J. Fox played guitar?
Yes, because there's actually a video of Michael J. Fox. Have you seen it? Where they look at the chords he's playing and they play what he's actually playing. Yeah.
And Paul Bettany learned how to amputate arms just for this movie.
Yeah.
This movie. He learned to perform surgery on himself.
He actually lost his arm.
That was real. That was 100% real.
And he's been stuck playing one-armed guys ever since. Brian, go.
Tell us.
I liked the history of it, definitely. Like I said, I had to look it up while I was watching it. I was like, why is it a privateer? Like they were saying it was a privateer. It was like, it didn't make sense to me. And then I found out, it's in the book it's supposed to be like an American warship. And I was like, that makes sense. Why did they just do that?
Yeah, that's what they do, though, is they would basically take pirates and then officially commission them as privateers.
Right, yeah.
You have permission to prey on the French all you want, or the English, or whoever it is. Yep.
But they wouldn't be down in South America.
Mm-hmm.
If they were, they would be up by France and stuff. And
I agree with you, Adam. Like the fact
what did it say?
I'll put it back on here. Adam said that I had seen this before, and I was always bummed the movies didn't continue.
Yeah, there's very much a cliffhanger
if they
ending.
the quality up, I would have loved to see further movies in the series.
Hey, never say never.
When they sold the ship, they sold the ship to, I can't remember what organization after filming ended, and they had a clause in the contract saying that the place they sold it to had to loan it back to them if they made further movies.
Oh.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Well, there is still, because it was announced in 2021 that they were trying to make a prequel, and last I heard they were still trying to find a director. So it isn't out of the question, but like most projects, it'll probably go nowhere.
Yeah. Which might not be a bad thing.
For some people.
I think it was like shot really nice. It was cool.
I agree with that part of it.
Yeah.
It just wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah, well,
I drink coffee.
It was beautifully shot. The attention to historical accuracy was amazing. Yeah. But I just enjoyed it as a movie. I enjoyed those aspects of it. But to me, I never once looked at the clock for the entire
I stopped it 8 times. Where we were at in the movie.
I do have my little fun fact for this though. So you had what's his name? Paul Bettany. And
who I love, I adore.
Yes, and who is he married to? Anybody?
Anyone?
Jennifer Connelly.
Ah.
So, just how Jennifer Connelly played Russell Crowe's wife in A Beautiful Mind, Paul Bettany played Russell Crowe's wife in Master and Commander. And it was a really interesting film to watch.
Nice.
I was gonna say I agree with Eric about like there was only like a couple characters and the rest were just like okay.
More guys.
I mean, how many movies do you know more than 2 or 3 characters really by the time you finish the end of the film?
A lot.
You could list everybody in Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts.
In The Godfather, I mean, you have Michael and Sonny and
Abe Vigoda,
and there's a couple minor characters. They're fine, but
Sofia Coppola.
Oh God!
Movies we've watched. How many characters can you really name from Saving Private Ryan? It's just that's true of most movies.
The Sniper, Vin Diesel, Matt Damon.
That's who I mainly remember as Vin Diesel.
Matt Damon.
But
Furiously Saving Private Ryan.
I can name everyone on this.
Yeah, but nobody's seen that.
That's because it hasn't premiered yet, and it does this Sunday in Portland.
What?
Scott and I are taking the train down to Portland.
We are.
Yeah, Sunday morning, and then we're going to be in LA on Saturday night.
What? Crazy.
I know.
We have a spin-off series called Lot's Wife.
And yeah, we've got the cards with a nice little backstory, everything that's going on, and the little QR code. So there you go. Sorry to change the subject, Scott, but I have to be out in 12 minutes. So I figured I'd get that out of the way.
It's all right. And just like Master and Commander, we are going to do a sequel to this show. It's going to be called It's a Scot, and it will be the English version.
You mean the Scottish version?
Or how about they'll do a version on Nickelodeon called It's a Tot?
Nick.
And in the AI version, it's a bot.
Yes, that's on Sippy.
That's the Twitter version. It's a bot.
And then the version that takes place at a mattress store. It's a cot.
And the headline when it's canceled after 6 seasons will be, It's a Knot.
Wow.
Adam desperately trying to bring us back to the movie.
I agree. Yeah.
I do. I think the crewmates could have had a little more.
Well, they actually, it was interesting. It was, I don't remember if it was Weir or Crow. One of them, they had the members of the crew dressed in different color T-shirts.
Oh, that was Crow. Yeah, he wanted that.
They actually had they tried to maintain sort of a hierarchy, just to sort of maintain the feel of.
It was like Star Trek.
Who you should feel comfortable around.
Star Trek. If you're in a red shirt, you're dead.
You're expendable. Sorry, Brian.
Oh.
Like this, you have the people on top and you have the people on the bottom.
I'm the expendable crew member, sir. Ah! Who are you? I'm Kretch Boop. Sorry.
All right. Dan's gone off the rails. So, hey.
Hello.
Any other points? Any other things you'd like to share about the movie? Your favorite moments?
I agree that even though people did not like this movie, I'm glad that everyone could agree it was a good movie. So I think that's a plus in my book.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, so thumbs up, thumbs down, recommend it, not recommend it. Where are you at? Where does everybody stand?
It's good.
You
just don't like it.
I'm really on the fence where it's like, if you like this, you could watch it. Dan went thumbs down. I'm gonna go thumbs up.
Hey!
Barely.
Wow.
That's what it's like every
I was
time
shaking.
I hear that.
I can't. I was shaking, but yeah, it's up.
There you go. So that gives it an 83.3, which so many of our movies end up with an 83.3.
So we'll break that on the next one.
Eric's going to be the Adam today. Sorry, Adam.
There you go. I was Adam last week too, so we'll see if we get that fixed.
You gave it a thumbs up. I'm the Adam. I gave it the thumbs down.
That's a very good point.
Oh, thank you.
Blame Dan.
But it's a good movie. It's just not my cup of tea. I would not recommend it and I would not watch it again. So that's why I give it a thumbs down.
There you go.
Got it. Well, you can say
all right. Are we doing this, Dan, or is it time?
I think we have an announcement we'd like to make. Eric and I discussed this today.
Yes.
We've been thinking a lot about this. So 5 years ago, on the 13th of March was the first time I went on and did a Facebook show called Dead Air Live. Adam was there, probably one of the first people. I didn't even know Scott yet. And then we started doing the movie show in June of 2020. But it's been 5 years of doing this show, basically. And
it's a huge success. We're still
here.
But think of the merch money you're making.
I know.
That's dried up. We haven't made anything since 2020. When Eric was designing shirts on the fly, including the Krispy Kreme shirt that only one person got, and then they were told that it's not available.
Yanked it.
But what Eric and I thought was maybe 5 years is a good number. Maybe like Seinfeld, we get to the point where we say, you know what? I think we've done enough of this show. Now, I'm not saying we're going to stop doing anything. Caryata is going to continue because it's not that consistent anyway. But what we thought was...
I love that justification.
Yes. We've got a few weeks left. So we're going to go till April 7th, 4/7. We're going to do one show on 4/7. There's our 147.
Hey.
It'll be our big blowout show, our final show. It'll be a double feature. Eric and I will each pick one for the final show. No, not a quadruple. And then we'll maybe do the game night again like we used to do. We'll maybe do... Eric and I might come up with a podcast idea that we'll record. It won't be a live stream. And then maybe we'll do a live stream about that. We're going to create something new.
This reminds me of when my parents divorced and they sat us all down on the couch. It's going to be okay.
Scott, because you live closer, I did get you in the divorce. Eric got Dave and Brian because that's East Coast. And we also get Adam. We also get Adam.
Here's the deal: is seriously, at least once a month, we're thinking, we'll figure out a day of the week that works for everybody. But whether it's going to be the first Friday of every month, the last Friday of every month, we will do a game night.
Like we used to do.
Game night with games and fun and talking. And maybe we'll pick a movie that the people who want to watch that movie and talk for 10 minutes about that movie, we might squeeze that in too. But we'll do a variety show once a month. To get us through the summer.
A variety show, wow.
Well, what?
We're doing a variety show. We're going to have the Bob Mackie outfits and...
Oh, yeah. 100%.
And we'll have...
going to be here.
Kristen Wiig with her little hands.
Who's Sonny and who's Cher?
I think Crosby, whatever kid is not...
Eric does a great Cher. We did that when we first started comedy. When we first started comedy, one of our first bits was... It was Cher and Casey Kasem together again for the very first time.
I don't remember how that impersonation.
Can we get a preview?
Singing "Achy Breaky Heart."
Oh no!
I need a preview.
Wow. I don't know.
Eric should have a video somewhere.
It was really bad.
Because if you break my heart, my achy breaky heart, I'm Casey Kasem. And Eric would put on the wig. Eric still has the wig, I'm sure.
Then Eric would go into Paul Schaefer's version of Cher singing "Oh Holy Night," right?
Yeah, I do a great Paul Schaefer doing a version of Cher.
Oh, holy night!
Oh,
Here's what we're gonna do. Since Dan and I are gonna choose, and Dan has to leave in 4.5 minutes. Since Dan and I are gonna choose the last movies for the 7th, we are not putting our names on the wheel for the next 2 weeks. So for the next 2 weeks, it's anybody's game. Well, it's not Scott's game because
Right. So it's going to be Dave,
Wait,
Brian,
I got cheated out. What the heck?
and Adam. You just did last week. What are you talking about? You did
I
this
know,
week.
but I got more great movies to pick. Oh,
well, then next week you will have to hope that maybe your name comes up. So,
Right. You'll be back on next week. So it's Dave, Brian, and Brian Adams. Wait, Brian Adams.
I didn't know he was here.
Everything I do.
Summer of '69.
Ready?
But yes,
Right here waiting.
that was Richard Marx.
Let's find out who's going to choose.
I tried.
You tried.
For next week.
Oh boy, the pressure.
I'm going to pull out that list, Dave.
Dave, you've been talking about Freddy Got Fingered for years.
Yeah, ain't no way I'm picking Freddy Got Fingered.
This could be the most important night choice of your life.
Pick War and Peace. Lawrence of Arabia. Gone with the Wind. These are all movies that Eric wants to see because they're over 3 hours long.
No pressure.
See.
You can take your time.
Long list here.
Take your time. You have a moment.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something important to Scott. There you go. That's all I had.
Wow, that was important.
That was. I just wanted to make sure it was really loud.
Was it loud enough for everybody?
I mean, I'm deaf in this year now, so.
Still don't understand why that's loud. All right.
Don't understand why it's in one channel.
I don't either.
I don't know. I'll review. I'll fix that.
I know the theme for my movie. I just have to pick the movie.
I thought you were going to go again with it, and I was like ready.
Pick another movie where the Americans should have been the bad guy, but they aren't because they wanted to sell.
Can I make a comment real quick?
Yeah.
This is what Starbucks is putting their iced drinks in now.
Interesting.
They stopped with the plastic cups. They're doing compostable and paper for ice drinks. It's all soggy.
They had to make up for those paper straws somehow.
How old is that?
It's from like not even an hour ago. I just got on my way to the office to come do this.
Well, damn, they're edible.
Oh, hold on.
Soylent Green is Starbucks cups.
Now to see if it's streaming anywhere.
Oh boy, Cats 2. Far Side.
Cats 2, The Magical Rescue.
That should be one of the things we do one of the months or so. We just hate watch something again. That would be great.
Adam, if you're listening, you have to do the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Whoa.
We're not getting a chance to do it, man.
Why do you blur your background, Scott? You have such cool posters behind you.
Oh, I can turn it off. I just got shit on the floor.
Who cares?
All right. My choice.
Oh.
Because he was one of the great actors of our time who passed away recently.
Gene Hackman.
The great Gene Hackman.
Oh, no.
Oh.
And our last EriDan memory of him cannot be as Lex Luthor.
Mr. Luthor. Mr. Luthor.
French Connection.
So I'm picking Unforgiven.
Ah.
Ooh.
Nice.
Eric's not going to like that.
No.
It's a long movie where people don't do anything. You're not going to like it.
Hey, Adam, why did Freddy get fingered in the holster? That sounds offensive, Adam. Wow. I didn't see that one. Is that the sequel?
Freddy got fingered, reloaded in the holster.
So Unforgiven.
Unforgiven.
Is that
streaming on Amazon?
Or is that streaming?
I don't think it's free on Amazon, but it's there.
All right, so you can find that on Amazon. We've got Clint Eastwood, Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman, Richard Harris. I thought that was Richard Lewis for a second, which I think would be fantastic.
Richard Marx, yeah.
Richard Marx. I'd like to see Richard Marx in there, right here, waiting for you.
It looks like it's on Philo also. You can get a free trial.
Philo.
Philo. Philo.
Oh, it's a
so many
fit
services. So many services to choose from.
Adam's happy about Unforgiven.
How about that? It's a Western.
It is the Hackman was unsure about taking this role, and he got convinced to take it, and I'm glad he did, because it's one of those roles where I can't picture anyone else playing it.
Just Richard Harris in the 90s. I'm like, it's time to play Richard Harris or Charlton Heston. Like, they just all age the same. They pick the same kinds of roles. Although Charlton Heston as Dumbledore would have been amazing.
I can honestly say I think I have seen less than 5 Westerns, perhaps less than 3 if you don't count Three Amigos or Blazing Saddles.
See?
I just got this sound in my head of Charlton Heston screaming, "You damn dirty Snape!"
Get your stinking paws off the Potter, you damn dirty Snape.
Oh my.
I would watch. Or instead of using like the lighter to turn off the lights at the top of the first movie, it's a gun.
It's 2 hours and 10 minutes, so it's not crazy long.
Yeah.
We got nothing but time.
Well, we got 3 weeks.
That's right.
All right, I'm going to post in the little Facebook group about it because I know some of the regulars are not here. I mean, we haven't. Stacy and Wade, we miss you. Amanda hasn't been here in a while. Brittany, where's Brittany? Obviously, we haven't seen Cody.
Yeah.
Cody hasn't been here in forever. Michelle Sanders, Fazelle, what happened? She disappeared years ago.
Yeah.
Back in the old days, Rick Burdine was always on. Mike Menza, Gary. We had such a crew.
It was a crew.
And I'm hoping maybe for this final show we can get everybody back.
Whoa.
Dan is all about the reunion episodes.
I love the reunion episodes.
Is it a very special episode of EriDan?
Yes.
The key now, Dan, think now, because Dan and I have the luxury of like 2 weeks to figure out what our movie is going to be to wrap this whole thing up.
Yeah.
The key to getting people here will be movies that people will actually watch and want to talk about.
The Back to the
So
Future
actually
video
watching
game.
the movie for that week is absolutely optional. You are welcome to join in, even if you have.
Yes, you do not have to watch the movie.
But I think you don't want to pick Somewhere in Time 2. I'm just saying.
All right,
I wish
Eric.
they would have done that.
Eric, you gotta do Moulin Rouge.
No, I don't know. It's gotta be something special.
Oh, so Moulin Rouge is not something special. Oh, I see.
The conversation will last about 4.5 minutes.
Well, and ironically, I considered The Conversation as my Gene Hackman movie, but I went with Unforgiven instead.
Outside it may be raining.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we can come up with,
Dan, you were supposed to leave 3 minutes ago.
I know, I'm okay because it's just right across the street.
universally loved movies. We'll see if we can come up with 2 amazingly universally loved movies.
Well,
yes.
Dan's leaving. I gotta mention that I've been watching Travelers.
Isn't it great?
It's pretty good. Yeah.
I've been watching The Night Agent. I watched
response in that conversation. Isn't it great? Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's not like I like the other one way better. The
oh yeah,
with all
Continuum
the
was
same-
better.
yeah, Continuum's way better.
A lot of the same people out of Vancouver. So The Night Agent, I recommend. I've been watching that. Reacher, obviously amazing. Season finale for Severance is this Thursday, if 9 p.m. your time, 6 p.m. our time, and it's 75 minutes. And Devour Feculence is one of the best words I've ever heard on television. If you haven't seen it, last week's episode, you'll get it. And I'm just trying to rush through these. And Running Point on Netflix with Kate Hudson playing the owner of an NBA team. Really funny show. All right, that's all I got.
That was the rest of the year's recommendation.
And there's
Well,
going to be
I won't be on next Monday. I'll be on an airplane.
There's going to be a season 4 of Ted Lasso.
Yes, with Jason Sudeikis.
Yes.
Ted Lasso is back. And if you haven't played Wordle yet today, that was a clue. My mom got it in 2, by the way.
I got a 3 today. But
All right. Well, I will try to be on the airplane texting, and I will watch this movie. I love this movie. I've seen
Did you
it
say
twice.
sexting?
I'll be texting from the airplane. I'll be on.
I think I said sexting. Sorry.
For you, Dave, anything you want, Captain Dave.
You never know. I mean, we're not going to get canceled now.
Right. We're playing every copyrighted thing we want to play. We're going to play music on this last one. We don't care.
EriDan After Dark.
That's right. Ooh.
You got to take a page out of the Conan book when he left the show and did all those expensive skits.
EriDan Against Humanity.
Oh no way, we can't do that. It's our budget.
Good point.
We'll do what Conan did, and Jay Leno will steal the show from us. All right, everybody, I'm going to go.
Get out of here.
Thank you so much.
Conan's hosting the Oscars again next year.
Oh, that's good.
Of course he is.
We may or may not see Dan next week. All right, who knows? So anybody else have anything? Dan named every good thing on TV right now. So
how do you do that?
I haven't watched anything. I have to say I've been away from TV for quite a bit for the past 2 weeks.
A week and a half ago. Does it have to be film or TV?
No, it can be, honestly, if you found a great determinant of bleach you'd like to recommend that's getting your sheets ultra white, please share that with us now.
We're at that level. Okay. Has anyone ever seen clips of that German expressionist projection version of the Magic Flute opera?
That's a big one.
No.
Just type in Magic Flute projections. It's some really cool, wacky stuff, but they just showed the Seattle Opera. Went to see it a week and a half ago. It was really quite good. If you guys like movies like Dr. Caligari, Frankenstein, Metropolis, any of those super old silent movies that are super long-winded and probably feel like Master Commander to some people here, it's a really good, nice movie. It's really, really cool. Nice opera. Sorry, here, I'll find something of it. So yeah, that was cool.
That's cool.
I fully expect next week to hear Eric saying, "It was a well-made movie, just wasn't for me."
Well, you're already putting words in my mouth. You never know. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of Westerns, so maybe there's a whole genre out there I've been missing out on that I'll secretly love. And
I always really want to love Westerns, but I always kind of end up just being like, it was all right.
What was the one we watched? We watched a Western on here.
Well, we watched the Sergio Leone. We watched the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
That's the one. Yeah, that wasn't for me.
That's one of the great ones too. I mean,
one of the best ones.
The classic John Ford ones with John Wayne.
When was
Stagecoach?
When was The Unforgiven made? When was that released? The Unforgiven.
1992,
was it?
Okay, well, at least this is a more modern than The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah,
well, it's sort of like Eastwood's farewell to the Western genre in some ways.
Oh yeah, totally. It's a Cincinnatus story where he's the convict whose wife just died, and he now works on a farm, and this guy comes over and says, "You got these assholes over in the village. You gotta go take care of them." He says, "No,
don't give away the plot there, Scott."
I thought that was the Bridges of Madison County.
I'm not giving away the plot. I'm just saying it's a Cincinnatus story. It's like saying West Side Story is a Romeo and Juliet story. I mean, is everyone gonna live?
You never know.
Who puts spoiler warnings on Romeo and Juliet?
The Disney version of Romeo and Juliet would have everybody live.
Yeah. What about
that?
What about Romeo and Juliet?
It's called The Lion King 2. Lion King 2, Simba's Pride.
Oh, Bambi's mother was just winged. She's fine.
I was so sad when I was a kid.
In general, or just because of that movie?
Because of Bambi. I was so sad.
You don't like to feel things from your movie.
I don't
refuses
generally
to watch that movie. She saw that when she
had my movie choice.
I mean, Thumper is awesome, but
Thumper is my favorite. Actually, I love Thumper, but I'm all about Flower. It's, to me, Flower is the best. The little skunk.
Don't get Eric started on Disney stuff.
Okay, but I have to admit that
you can call me Flower.
Bambi too. Bambi has the best tone shift in history because they go right from his mom dying and his dad telling him, "Your mom can't help you. Now come, my son." And they walk off into the snow like super slow and sad. It dissolves to black. And you come up on the birds in spring and it says, "La la 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 dippity dippity dippity." I'm like, I just saw someone die. I just saw the worst death scene in Disney history. What's wrong with you?
It was yes, yeah.
Life is. People have got to learn.
There's also Robert Smigel's version from SNL.
Robert Smigel?
Robert Smigel from TV Funhouse. He did a spoof of Bambi 2 where his mother lives and they get revenge on the hunter.
Oh, nice. Nice. Speaking of nature, Adam says that this is what he's been watching. The Big Bear Bald Eagle Live Nest Cam 1.
Careful,
so much better than Nest Cam 2.
Look at that. Yeah.
Nest Cam 2 is just a cheap ripoff.
Yeah. This is why Adam liked Master
white,
Commander.
It's kind of Art Nouveau. It's all filmed at up angles. It's not very.
I want to see the Jason Bay version.
I'm so glad that Danny Warhol had an impact on movies. Brian, you didn't say something sarcastic about the eagle. What's wrong with you?
I was trying to think, but like I'm bald, so I didn't want to go there.
You're right. That is something that nobody else here has a problem with.
I didn't want to go there.
No,
there's
some follicle impairment happening here. This is what I've been watching full time, pretty much.
Dave's the oldest one here, and he has hair. It doesn't make sense.
Boom.
Don't you want to be there? Doesn't that make you wish you were in the middle of Florida right now?
But see, why would you want to watch a video making you wish you were elsewhere?
No,
you also like to watch videos of people prettier than your family and things like that.
It makes me look. Why would you watch video of a bird when you're never going to be a bird? I'm not there right now doesn't mean I can enjoy the idea of being there. It gives me hope for the future.
No,
I believe that children are our future.
Dan believes in time travel, so the future is all relative.
Well, it's true.
Oh. It'd be really hilarious.
Please tell us.
What if the Oscars just ended when they got to 100? They're like, we've had a good run. Everyone's leaving.
Yeah.
We've made every story.
That's true.
Actually, it was. If you can find the article online, there's a bit about Conan O'Brien talking about all of the things that he wanted to do that they said he couldn't do.
Ooh.
Like he had a sketch they were going to do with the Oscar dressed up like in a housewife's apron. It's like, oh no, Oscar always has to be nude. And he had one where he was going to have the Oscar lying down on a couch like a psychiatrist couch. Oh no, Oscar always has to be vertical. You can never show Oscar horizontal.
Nice. That's great. Oh, well, yeah, protect your brand, I guess.
I guess.
Crazy.
There is one great power move that someone who doesn't like the Oscars still has left, besides saying thank you. And that is just taking the trophy, pulling out a $1 bill, putting it on this podium next to the Oscar and say thank you and then going. Because you technically do not own your Oscar. You're actually holding it. If you ever want to give it away, you actually have to first ask the Academy if they want to buy it for $1 from you.
Ah.
Because somebody sold their Oscar in the 40s because they had to pay for their wife's medical bills, and the Academy said, "Well, that kind of cheapens it. We can't have that happen." So ever since like the 50s, you can't do that. You're basically holding on to a statue on lease.
Well, you just have to buy one of the old ones from before that rule.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
didn't know that that's really funny though.
Doesn't that kind of cheapen it? Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like, why do you even care? Like,
you buy music from Apple Music. You didn't really buy it.
That's why I don't buy music from Apple Music.
Well,
You're a guardian.
We lease everything that's digital, right?
No, if anything, it's basically you celebrating your lifetime Academy membership.
That's fair. Adam thinks the Oscars are overrated. So there.
Well, there is no barometer in how good a movie is because everybody has something to say about IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes or the Oscars or the Golden Globes or whatever happened with Amelia Perez everywhere.
That's what it's great to live in the land of the free, where your opinion matters just the same as the Academy's. No?
Or you
well, if it mattered, then I could vote. Oh, Adam, name me one Best Picture winner that wasn't good besides Crash, besides Shakespeare in Love.
Well, you can't start giving him a list.
That's the point. Besides Driving Miss Daisy.
Miss Daisy's a good movie. I'm sorry. It is. I'm not saying it's the best picture of the year, but it's a very good movie.
I haven't said this to many people, but I'm going to say it, okay? I actually don't watch the award shows. As a film major, isn't that interesting? I just don't watch them.
I think that's okay. I mean, it's not, especially the shows, Now, if you
I just don't like them.
I don't feel are as
I will say though, the Oscars during Billy Crystal's heyday was an event. He was amazing when he hosted those several years in a row. He was just, it was the night to watch.
Yeah. That's when the show was a performance in itself. That was like, oh, did you see it? Did you, now it's more about actually who the winners are, less about the
Oprah. Uma.
I did enjoy that. I was one of the few who enjoyed when Letterman hosted, but I have not seen Honora yet, but I do want to see it.
Paying
attention to who wins is if you're a movie buff, it's probably worthwhile to actually keep up and watch those movies that are being critically applauded, but also
sometimes I just don't like. I look and I'm like, okay, I don't want to watch that one or that one or that one, so I just don't.
Yeah.
Well, you got to give it to Sean Baker, just like how Alfred Hitchcock just made nothing but suspense thrillers. Sean Baker's made nothing but movies about the sex industry, and it finally paid off.
Hey, Alfred Hitchcock made Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Oh,
his
come
one foray
on!
into comedy.
Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt.
That was him.
He made it was with Carol Lombard and who I don't remember who else was in it, but it was his one foray into comedy. Oh. It's not terrible, but
he made a lot of funny movies.
He would have no career.
Huh.
He made a lot of funny movies, though. It was a secret weapon.
Oh yeah, I mean, North by Northwest has some great humor in it. Yeah.
The Man Who Knew Too Much.
Yep.
I think Dial M for Murder is actually pretty funny. It's Grace Kelly sitting there with like the lights all over her, and she's like,
"Well,
2 minutes."
When the guy gets stabbed in the back.
Oh, that was the best part of Psycho. Like, oh, you're not supposed to stab people in the shower. What's wrong with you? Everyone laughed at that scene. That's not real blood.
It's chocolate.
Yes.
Yes, chocolate syrup.
And that's why they should have made it in Pennsylvania.
Delicious.
I'm so glad that this show is just running off the treadmills now that we don't care anymore.
Oh, like you ever cared.
Cared.
Cared. I do care.
Now that you've depressed Adam.
Disney, why are you judging me? You didn't give us money for this.
Urban vibes, Mickey Mouse.
Does he have 2 guns in his pockets, or is he happy to see me?
Looks like an orphaned puppet behind you.
That puppet is going to Goodwill very soon. Cleaning house here at the Sheamer estate. Everything must go.
Including the show.
Including the chair. That chair really does have to go, actually. But that chair right there. Any final comments? Any remaining anecdotes or?
I'm very sad that I will not get to pick another movie for this show. Thanks for the surprise.
Next week, wild things could happen next week. You just don't know.
Okay.
You know, and as I said, I think we might have some movie conversations when we meet less regularly, at least over the summer, and then we'll see. Maybe we'll start off something on a more regular schedule next fall. But at least for the summer, I think we're gonna do like once a month something. We'll figure out what that looks like.
Sounds good.
Moving forward. But obviously, those of you who are involved in the Cinematics chat group, that group will stay alive, and we can conversate and share thoughts and suggestions there, as we always have. So that'll definitely be here. As Adam says, we will always have the Facebook group chat. So yeah,
Yes.
We'll always have Paris.
that's right, exactly.
He's looking at you in movies.
That just made me think of what's that Owen Wilson one? Is it Midnight in
Midnight in
Paris?
Paris.
I enjoyed that.
I mean,
Woody
maybe you
Allen,
think of
yeah.
Casablanca, but that works too.
Eric loves him some Woody Allen movies.
He's like,
I guarantee you he would find Midnight in Paris boring.
he would probably.
I didn't hate Annie Hall for the most part. Like, I didn't hate it.
Yeah, it's only the movie that beat Jaws, and
I wouldn't watch it again, but I didn't hate Annie Hall. I did hate Take the Money and Run, but
I remember.
that just didn't work for me. But I will not be choosing a Woody Allen
We
film.
can do What's Up, Tiger Lily. I don't know if you're familiar with that movie. It was a movie that Woody Allen bought the rights to, stripped the soundtrack from, and then added all new dialogue.
Oh my!
wow.
Yes. It's very odd.
Strip
Milli
soundtrack?
Vanilli that movie?
It's a martial arts movie that he made about some completely ridiculous subject.
That's funny.
I like ridiculous martial arts movies.
You do enjoy some ridiculous martial
I do.
but not Big Trouble in Little China. A little too ridiculous. But yeah, so Unforgiven, The Unforgiven, for next week. And and then we'll see what
It's
happens.
just actually Unforgiven. There's no the.
There's no the?
There's no the.
Oh. I wonder if I already have this movie. Do I have this movie? I don't think so. It doesn't sound like something I would even.
With your love of Westerns, I really doubt it.
I mean, I have Unforgiven, but it's 2008 when Shawn Michaels faced Chris Jericho in the No Hold Barred match. Oh wait, that's a WWE pay-per-view. Unforgiven, I bet.
That's a little strange. No, I do not have this movie.
I'm so glad Brian was the only one who got that joke because now I know his intellect I'm on par with. This is great.
I know the WW's. Yep.
Saul Rubinek is in this movie.
Disreputable disagreement has just posted in the chat.
Do I know? Ah, look at this.
What's that?
Wow. A little promotion for that. Remove the space.
Wait, what
On
happened?
streamboo.com.
Why not? Why not?
It's probably a bot.
Oh, it's absolutely
This will be exciting. This movie, 96 on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics and a 93 from the audience. So this will open the door to Westerns for me. It is available for rent on Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Fandango, pretty much everywhere. $3.99, or if you have Paramount Plus Apple TV channel, it's available there. So,
Wow, this beats Son of a Woman.
wow, I'm
Smells
not
better.
seeing that either. So, I just know hoo-ah. Does that help? I don't think so. All right, everybody, we will see you back here next Monday without Dan. Dan on a plane, maybe, and Unforgiven. So, see you then.
Woo!